Hello, welcome back to Birthday Card Day. Today we're going to use 3 Distress Oxide pinks. This is going to be a very girly card. The giant flower from Hip Stamp Hooray and this new Tim Holtz stencil. I'm going to work on a top folding A2 card. This is the accent opaque cardstock, and it's very, very heavy. I'm going to stencil right on this card front. I'm getting a little better. I'm getting a little braver. What do you say we make a birthday card? Let's get started. All right, got a little mint tape. This is the smaller stencil of the hexagon. And I'm not really going to fully cover this card. It's going to be kind of random. And I'm going to use all 3 shades of pink. And I'm going to start with my sponge sugar. Now these are Distress Oxides because I don't have all 3 of these pinks in regular distress, and I really wanted to use them together. So had to do the oxides, but my preference is usually the regular distress ink. All right, so let's start with a little sponge sugar. Such a pretty sweet light pink. And I'm just gonna randomly ink this stencil. I'm gonna move it around. Oh yeah, there we go. And then we'll move on to Kish Flamingo, which I will have to use this brush for. Kish Flamingo plays pretty nicely with everybody, so it's a nice color. And then Picked Raspberry, which is my all-time favorite distress pink. And we're just gonna blend these. Let it fade out at the edge. Look at that, isn't that pretty? I'm gonna move the stencil over and line it back up. And it's not gonna be exact because of the sketchies in the pattern, but I'm okay with that. We'll go back in with a little more Picked Raspberry. And then a little more Kish Flamingo. And then a little more sponge sugar. And then I'm going to line this up because I don't want that straight line up there. And just line that out. There. I'm going to go over one more time. Go in with our Picked Raspberry. And Kish Flamingo. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Now I'm going to take and do a little bit inside because you know how that is. No naked insides. That's what I like to say. I'm just going to do a little just right up the side here. And just with what's left on this brush. In this brush. What's left on the brushes. Yeah, just a little color in there. I'm going to go back in with my stencil and add just a little bit of Stickles glitter gel, just here and there. And we're going to use the clear, which is called, what is it called? Clear. Moon Dust. I thought it had a name. Let's scoop just a little out. I love this stuff. And we're just going to do a little. Little bit of an accent. And I'll put some over here. And I really am not sure how much of this you're even going to see once I get my giant flower on, but it makes me happy to know it's there. Okay, so we're going to set this aside to dry. See how pretty that's going to be? Ooh. And then work on our flower. I'm going to stamp this large flower onto some Spellbinders pink cardstock. And I'm going to use the same 3 pink oxide inks and then do the outline with jet black archival. Let's get our stamps here. So first we have, do I want to start with spun sugar? Actually, I'm going to start with Kish Flamingo. I'm not even sure how much this Kish Flamingo is going to show up on this pink cardstock, but we're going to give it a shot. Oh, it does show up. Now we're going to stamp our detail with picked raspberry. Get this lined up here. Lovely. Now you could stop there. You don't have to have the black outline. That's pretty on its own. And then now we'll do the outline with jet black archival. Look at that, isn't that lovely? I'm going to cut this out, but before I do that, I'm going to glue it onto another layer of cardstock so that's really thick once it's cut out and ready for the card. I'll be back. All right, so my card is not completely dry, but it's dry enough that if I'm careful, I can move on. I got my flower cut out. I glued it to another piece of cardstock before I cut it out, so it's a little thicker. And it's going to go about here. We're going to use a paper rose sentiment strip, wishing you a wonderful birthday, but I need to trim it down a little bit. And I'm going to cut it apart so it can be on a couple of lines instead of all one line. I have this doily. This actually came under cake or something, I don't know, but it didn't have a mark on it, so I brought it home. I'm going to cut this in half and put it on the card front also. I'm going to put it on this side. We'll just use a little bear glue. Because bear glue makes the world go round, as far as I'm concerned. There we go. We'll just use a couple spots here. In those little centers. I'm just going to put it right to the left side. There we go. Put some fun foam on the back. A little bear glue to stick it down. So we'll put our flower about there. And then we've got our sentiments. So I need a little foam behind the edges of my sentiments there. I want to add a little bling. This is from LucyShop.com and it's flamingo. It's a cute little mix. It's got sequins, hearts, little tiny beads. Makes a good shaker filler because of the little tiny beads in it. It's a nice little mix. I love it. Okay. So let's go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go all the way up into the clear, or not the clear, where there's no ink. Okay, so we went up, now we're going to come down. Put one in between. And then we'll go down the other side. I need a tiny one to go in between there. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? All shiny and blingy and very, very girly. Alrighty, friends, here's this month's birthday card. I think this turned out super cute. So we used one of the new Tim Holtz stencils on the background with picked raspberry, kish flamingo, and spun sugar distress oxides, which I know I usually use regular, but I didn't have all three pinks in that in my regular distress. We used some Stickles glitter gel also through the stencil, and look at that. Oh, Hip Stamp Hooray stamp again, because I don't know, I love this flower, y'all. And then some bling from LucyShop.com. This is such a fun mix. I actually have used more than half of it, so I think I need to buy some more, fill my container back up. And then for no naked insides, a little bit of stenciling just with what was left over on my brushes. I hope you like this card. Y'all have a lovely day. Remember, be excellent to each other and go make something. Bye-bye.